Good morning, students. Today our topic is symmetry. So, what is symmetry? Students, in our daily life, we see so many figures or objects. Some of these figures are symmetrical, and some figures or objects are asymmetrical. So, today we will first of all we will discuss what are symmetrical objects and what are asymmetrical objects. First, symmetrical objects are those objects or figures which we can divide into two equal parts. जिस भी फिगर को या जिस भी ऑब्जेक्ट को हम टू इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, which figure or object is symmetrical. और जिस फिगर और ऑब्जेक्ट को आप टू पार्ट्स में इक्वली डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते, वो फिगर असिमेट्रिकल है. Clear, students? For example, first example is a symmetrical object. I have an apple. Now divide this apple into two equal parts. So what we will do? Give them cut at center. Now we have two parts, 1 and 2. By giving a cut, we will divide this apple into two equal parts. So it means this is a symmetrical object. Now second example is a mango. Now give them cut at center. Now this is divided into two equal parts, but two equal parts are not equally divided. So this is a asymmetrical object. Now try to give them a horizontal cut. Now we have 1 and 2, two parts. Once again, this is not divided into two equal parts. So this is a asymmetrical object. Clear, students? In simple words, symmetrical objects or figures are those figures which are divided into two equal parts, and which objects and figures are not divided into two equal parts. These objects or figures are asymmetrical. जिस भी फिगर और ऑब्जेक्ट को आप टू इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हो, वो सिमेट्रिकल है. और जिस भी ऑब्जेक्ट और फिगर को आप टू इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते, वो असिमेट्रिकल. Clear, students? Now, what is line of symmetry or axis of symmetry? A line or a cut which divide this object into two equal parts. This line is known as line of symmetry or axis of symmetry. For this, I have two figures. First figure is in square shape. Now divide this shape into two equal parts. So what will what we will do? Simply we will give them fold at center. At center. Now give them center. Now you can see this is divided into two equal parts, and these two parts exactly overlap each other. Just check. These are two parts. Now give them fold. Now these two parts are exactly overlap each other. So this line or fold, this is a line of symmetry or axis of symmetry. Clear, students? Now one more figure. This is a parallelogram. Now divide this figure into two equal parts. For this, give them fold. Now students, you can see this figure is divided into two parts, but these two parts are not exactly overlap each other. By this line, we will divide this figure into into two parts, but these two parts, first part is this, second part is this. These two parts is not exactly overlap each other. So this, it means this figure is a asymmetrical figure. Clear, students? Now we will see some more figures which are symmetrical. First figure is a hut. Now divide this hut into two equal parts. So give them cut at center. These are two parts. So this is a line of symmetry. This line is a line of, this dotted line is a line of symmetry. Next is, we can divide this leaf into two equal parts by give them cut at center. So this is the line of symmetry. Clear, friends? Next is, you can see a dotted line at center. This is a line of symmetry. These all objects are symmetrical because we can divide these objects into two equal parts. And pink dotted line shows the line of symmetry. Next is a butterfly. Now give them cut at center and divide into two equal parts. Pink dotted line shows the line of symmetry. Next is, these all objects are symmetrical objects. Clear, friends? Now I will explain the symmetry of geometrical shapes. Symmetry of geometrical shapes. First, line or lines of a symmetry of a square. For this, I have a piece of cloth which is in square shape. Now note the line of symmetry of this square piece of cloth. First, give them fold. Now you can see this is divided, this cloth is divided into two equal parts and two parts are exactly overlap each other. Here, so this fold, your first line of symmetry is this. This is your line of symmetry. Now open this and give them vertical cut, horizontal cut. Once again, these two pieces are exactly overlap each other. So this is your second line of symmetry. Second line of symmetry. First is vertical, then horizontal. Now, third line of symmetry. Now, meet these corners. Now, students, you can see once again this square piece of cloth is exactly is exactly divided into two pieces, and these two pieces are exactly overlap each other. So this is your third line of symmetry. This fold is third line of symmetry. Next is give them another fold, and this is fourth line of symmetry. It means a square have four line of symmetry. You can see these line of symmetry in this figure. This figure is in square shape. First line of symmetry. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It means a square has four lines of symmetry, two diagonals, and two lines pointing at middle. So your first geometrical shape is a square, and a square has four lines of symmetry. First, second, third, and fourth. A square has four lines of symmetry. Next figure is rectangle. Now students, this is the shape of rectangle. A rectangle have two lines of symmetry. First is vertical, then horizontal line of symmetry. A square has two lines of symmetry. We cannot meet diagonals of this rectangle because when we give them fold at corners, then two parts will not two parts is not exactly overlap. So it means a square has two lines of symmetry, first and second. Clear, students? Next is triangle. First type of triangle is a triangle which has all sides are different in length. Friends, a triangle which has all sides different in length is not a symmetrical object. We cannot divide this triangle into two equal parts. So it means this triangle has zero line of symmetry. Second is a triangle with two sides equal. वो ट्रायंगल जिसमें दो sides equal हैं. Now in this triangle, this side is equal to this side. These two sides are equal. वो triangle जिसमें दो sides equal हैं. This is called isosceles triangle. So isosceles triangle have one line of symmetry. A triangle with two sides equal have only one line of symmetry. Dear students, next is third type of triangle, the triangle with all sides equal. The triangle with all sides equals have three lines of symmetry. First, second, then third. Students, once again, the triangle with all sides are different in length has zero line of symmetry. वो ट्रायंगल जिसमें तीनों साइड्स की जो लेंथ है वो अलग अलग है. सपोज ये 5 है, ये 4 है, ये 3 है. सो इस टाइप की ट्रायंगल की जीरो लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री है. सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ ट्रायंगल, द ट्रायंगल विद टू साइड्स इक्वल. वो ट्रायंगल जिसमें दो साइड्स इक्वल हैं. The triangle with two sides equal have only one line of symmetry. Only one line of symmetry. Next is the triangle with all sides equal. वो triangle जिसमें सभी तीनों sides equal हैं. Equilateral triangle. वो triangle जिसमें सभी sides equal हैं. तीनों की तीनों sides equal हैं. Then this type of triangle have three line of symmetry. First, second, then third. Clear, students? Now last, circle. A circle have unlimited line of symmetry. Draw a diameter and we can find unlimited line of symmetry. So a circle have unlimited line of symmetry. You can draw diagonal, meet any two sides. This is a diagonal. You can draw unlimited line of symmetry of a circle. Clear, students? Now, students, we will discuss a few questions of exercise 61. Now, open your books, page number 245. Exercise 61. First question is, now write which of the following objects are symmetrical. Now, a mango. We cannot divide this mango into two equal parts. So it means this is not a symmetrical object. Second is, now we can divide this into two equal parts by giving them cut at center. These are two parts. So giving them a cut at center, we can divide this in two equal parts. So this is a symmetrical object. Yes, this is a symmetrical object. Now part C, the basket. You can divide this basket into two equal parts by giving them cut at center. So this is a symmetrical object. Your answer is yes. Next is part D. Now students, give them cut at center and find, is it symmetrical or asymmetrical? Students, we can't divide this hand into two equal parts. These are two parts. In this side we have two fingers, and in this side we have two fingers and one thumb. So this is a asymmetrical object. So your answer is no. Next is Now students, you can divide this hand into two equal parts, give them cut at center. These are two parts and both are equal. So this is a symmetrical object. Your answer is yes. Yes. Next is part B, a kite. Now divide kite into two equal parts, give them cut at center. So this is a symmetrical object. Now part H. Your answer is no. Next. Now students, complete question first. On your books. Dear students, now second question. In second question, draw all possible lines of symmetry of each of the following figures. In second question, we have few figures. Question second. In second question, draw all possible lines of symmetry of each of the following figure. Your first figure is, now draw the lines of symmetry, line or lines or of symmetry. First line of symmetry is second line of symmetry. So this figure have two lines of symmetry. Draw these two lines on your book. So first figure have two lines of symmetry. Second is part B. Now draw the lines of symmetry. First is, now give them fold, and these two parts to exactly overlap each other. Second is, so this figure have also two lines of symmetry. Two lines. First part A and part B. Students, draw these lines of symmetry on your book. Next is C, part C. Now draw the line of symmetry. This figure have only one line of symmetry. Next is part D. Circles. Draw the line of symmetry. Only one line of symmetry. In part A, we have 2 lines of symmetry. Part B, 2 lines of symmetry. Part C, only 1 line of symmetry. Part D, 1 line of symmetry. Next is part E. Now divide this figure into 2 equal parts. Give them cut at center. Give an imaginary fold and check these 2 parts as exactly overlap each other. So this figure have only 1 line of symmetry. Part E. Next is part F. Divide this figure into 2 equal parts. We can't them this cut because these 2 parts are not exactly overlap each other. So this figure have only 1 line of symmetry. Part F. Next is part G. Divide this figure into 2 equal parts by giving them cut at center. These are 2 parts which are equally divided into 2 parts. So part G, we have 1 line of symmetry. Next is part H. Now divide this figure into 2 equal parts. These are 2 parts. So this figure have only 1 line of symmetry. 1 line. Next is part I. Now draw the line or lines of a symmetry. First is vertical, then give them horizontal cut. So students, this figure have 2 line of symmetry, 1 and 2. 2 lines of symmetry. Clear students? Now next is, now divide this figure into 2 equal parts. One line of symmetry. Next is part K. Divide into 2 equal parts. One line of symmetry. And last part is one liner. Yes, friends. This is part A. Part B. Part C. Part D. Part E. Part F. Next is part H. Part I. J. Q, and here, students. So, students, your homework is complete question first and second of exercise 61 on your books. Thank you. Have a nice day. Excuse me, Mrs. Sethi.